Reading Berserk is like opening your eyes to a brand new reality that you never actually considered to think about. Before we start, I would like to advise, if you are 18 or under, please, I would advise you to skip out on this content, as this content is for a mature audience, and this video will contain a lot of spoilers. So if you are interested in seeing a non-spoiler video, check out my review on the first chapter alone. And without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. So Berserk is a story about a very straightforward character called Guts, and we know that he is called the Black Swordsman and that he hunts down apostles, which are like immortal type demonic kind of beings that are actually very strong. Like, so far Guts has faced off against 2 apostles, and I can clearly say if it was a 1v1 in a boxing ring, Guts would have easily been whooped, man, because these guys are strong. So every time Guts actually face off these apostles, he has to be smart and strategic to beat these guys, right? Guts also has like a very dark sense of humor as well. Like, he's just a very dark character in general, even when he's not trying to be funny. Like, even when it's like not dark humor, still it can get very dark, and that's where this character called Puck comes into play. I feel like Puck kind of balances all that darkness out, because Puck is like that character that brings up joy, that kind of uplifts the mood and stuff. So Puck is an elf, a very interestingly designed elf. I've never seen an elf shaped as a fairy, which is interesting, but so far I'm loving this guy's character, man. I reckon he is going to be vital in terms of the balance, like I talked about, and of course in terms of the future content as we go on. I feel like it's going to be very important. And one other crucial thing I feel like we all need to know at the start of the story is the mark on Guts' neck. We find out later that the mark on his neck is like a brand that has been given by some demonic god, and that is why wherever he goes, evil spirits are always following him, which is not the best, you know what I mean? There was a time where this guy and his daughter, I think the guy was like a priest, yeah, he gave him a ride on his wagon. So out of nowhere, a whole bunch of skeletons came. I think they were like evil spirits, right? And then the girl, right? The daughter was like portrayed as such a sweet character. I don't know, I felt like she was going to be important, yeah? I thought she was going to be one of the main characters going forward, because you know how in every manga, or not every, like a lot of mangas and animes, where the main character goes on a journey and he recruits new members, you know what I mean? I thought this girl was going to be another one, but no. The girl dies, and then she turns into a zombie, and then she kills her dad, and then she stabs Guts, and then Guts literally slices her in half, and that was very unexpected, and it was quite dark. So it's very unexpected. You will never expect what's going to happen in the next page, so I'll give that to Berserk straight away. But the main setting of this arc is in an area where we are introduced to another apostle, and this apostle goes by the name of the Count, and the Count is quite horrific. Like, he is constantly executing heretics which oppose their religion or something like that, I think, and we never knew why until the end of the arc. We get to know why he was doing it, which, yo, this author just makes you hate the villains, but then at the end you kind of feel bad for the villains, which honestly, if you can do that to a reader, that's very good writing. I feel like that's very good writing, but we'll get to that part later onwards, right? The Count straight away knew that the Black Swordsman was in town, so he sent like a bunch of people to pretty much kill him, but there was just no match for Guts, man. Like, Guts, his sword is just so insane. It actually kills anything. Like, I'm not even lying, it kills horses, men, monsters, anything, man. It just kills anything, right? And then we get the introduction of Vargas, which is like a short guy who helped them escape, and while he took them into his testing area, I'm not sure what that place is, but that's when he was like, I need you to kill the Count. Like, I have been waiting for a guy like you. And then he gave his backstory, how the Count literally just kills people for fun and apparently eats them as well. Like these apostles, right, even the one in the first chapter, are so frightening. Like, I feel like in terms of making the villains scary, like, this author has done a very good job. Like, so far both of these apostles were horrific, man. We also get to find out that Vargas stole a key from the Count called the Behelit. It's like a key to summon demons, I think, or something like that, where apparently that's where you can get the God Hand to give you powers. That's how the Count got his powers. That's how we later found out. So that's kind of crazy. And then literally straight after that, the Count attacked them. Then that led Vargas getting captured, and he's like, wait, Vargas might be a friend of the Black Swordsman, right? So let's try to execute him and see if he shows up. And honestly, I thought that Guts would actually show up and save Vargas, but no, he didn't, man. This guy is literally true to what he says. He's like, I don't help anyone. I'm literally there for myself. I do what I want. That guy's weak. He's only gonna put me down. So no, I'm not gonna help that guy. But honestly, I felt some kind of regret when he didn't show up. You know what I mean? And yeah, Vargas gets executed, and Puck gets captured because he had his heroic moment, but it didn't work out. And that's where we meet the Count's daughter, Teresia, and I was like, there is no way that this guy gave birth to this girl. No, no way. Like, so we find out that Teresia has been locked up literally her whole life ever since her mother died. We didn't know why, but we'll come back to that later. And then Guts came to fight the Count, and he was clearly getting overpowered by the Count. Like, these apostles, like I said, they're just strong, man. Like, if it wasn't for all those tricks and strategic move that Guts were using, he would have been dead, man. Dead. But yeah, all of the fight pretty much allowed Teresia to escape, because that broke the door. And when she came, oh my goodness, man, she was frightened to see her father in such horrific form. And yo, Guts, he used her as a hostage when the Count was about to kill him, man. Like, I think he was literally about to kill him, and then he literally pulled up Teresia and like, hey man, go ahead, I dare you, man, I dare you. And when he took his head, the key, yeah, the Behelit, took them to a new dimension where all the god hands were. And yo, man, I think there were like 5 people. I think there were 5. And there's one of them that actually stood out a lot, and he was like wearing an armor. I think his name was like Griffith, something like that. It started with a G, but he seemed OP, man. He did the almighty push on Guts, like Pain from Naruto, man. Like, the Guts was about to attack him, literally just looked at him and boom, and Guts went to the other side of the room, man. It's quite crazy, man. This is also where we get the backstory of the Count, man. Man, this backstory was so disturbing, man. I just did not like it, man. It kind of made me feel bad for the Count. So this is what happened, yeah. Him, his wife, and his daughter Teresia, they seemed like a happy family, but then there were a bunch of heretics in the town, so you know, they were just hunting down some heretics. And once he came back, he saw his wife just doing some crazy stuff, man. Like, she was literally the people he was hunting, man. I think she was like a pagan or a heretic, I think one of that, and she was just doing some very bad things, man. Horrible, terrible person. She is a horrible person. And that's when the god hands came and was like, listen, we can take away all of your despair, just give us a sacrifice and we will give you crazy powers which can actually hide all your despair at the same time. And that's when he sacrificed his wife, and that all happened in front of his daughter, man. Like, Teresia had to see all that live, full view. She was watching a whole movie of that, bro. Like, man, like, I feel so bad for her, like, but then it just gets worse for her, in my opinion. Like, god damn, man. We also know that the brand on Guts' neck pretty much means that Guts belongs to Demon World, or whatever that world is called. Like, he's a part of it. Yeah, that's why Evil Spirit is constantly after him, I think. But yep, and then the Count ends up going to hell because he couldn't sacrifice his own daughter, which, man, it's sad, but I don't like him, but damn it. And then when they were back to the normal dimension, yo, bro, Teresia was horrified, and Guts was like, yo, listen, man. He was like to her, you can always just take your own life. To a little girl, man, he was like, you can take your own life, so you don't have to feel all these, despair. You can just take it right now. And then he gave her a knife, and just when she was about to do it, like, she fell backwards, and if she had fallen all the way, she would have definitely died. But Guts literally ended up saving her life just by instincts, I think, and he was just shocked at himself for doing it. And when he did it, she just got so angry, like, revenge just, yeah, consumed her pretty much. And that's when we saw Guts cry, man. Like, he was crying. I'm not sure why he was crying. Was he crying because of revenge that consumed her, or was he crying because what he had told her? I'm not sure why he was sad, but there was just something much more deeper to Guts' character. Apparently the next arc goes dumb, man. Like, apparently we also get a flashback of Guts, and I would love to know what happened in the past of Guts, because his character, I feel like there's so much depth in this guy's character that I would love to know more about. And after reading this arc, right, there's one thing that's always in my head. Like, Teresia was locked up. She had no freedom for her whole life, literally just in a room, and she always wanted freedom. And just when she got that freedom, she had to experience all that in like a matter of minutes. Like that's insane. Like honestly, you could say it might have been better for her to stay locked up for her whole life, but then she would have also been in despair regardless. But the trauma she had to go through after getting that freedom, like, was that freedom even worth it? Like, honestly, is freedom really all that in terms when you think about that? Because these are real life situations that can happen in some random part of the world. Like when someone gets their freedom, boom, trauma, horrific scenes can happen straight away. So that got me thinking, man. That got me thinking a lot. And yeah, like the ending of the arc made me sad, especially that last chapter was really sad. I just felt very bad for Teresia, and of course when Guts cried, I don't know, that's made me sad for some reason, and it's an ending that I would have never expected. Like, yeah, man, and that's all I have to say, man. Like, whew, wow, it's quite incredible. I would give it an 8 out of 10. It is still something I feel like I need to get used to, because I'm not used to reading dark themes like this, because this is way darker than I normally can handle. So I feel like I need time to get used to this, but I feel like the story just carries it. The story so far has me intrigued, so I'm very excited to see where this goes. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I will be doing another review for the Golden Age arc in the future, sometimes in the future, so stick around for that. And if you guys are new here, make sure to leave a like, comment down your thoughts below, and subscribe for future Berserk or any anime or manga. I will be bringing them up in the future, hopefully. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care now. Bye.